everybody, this is Crystal with Crystal's Diversity Creations. So I wanted to take some time and share with you how to put together one of the name puzzles using your Glowforge. So this is the final result of the puzzle, and I'm just going to take you through some of the key steps in putting it together. So I used this template. This was purchased off of Etsy. And so basically you're getting the cutout for the letter and then the little notch for your finger. And what you do, I just is first I ungroup, and what I do is I would duplicate the individual letter and then drag it over. Okay, and so this is just all you have to do to get it set up, duplicate, and so on and so forth. When you get to the ends, you know, not all of the names are the same length, so you want to kind of make an adjustment there. I also turned on my grid so that I would kind of know whether or not they were aligned, because I kind of wanted to make sure of that. So here I see that they're on that same line. If I was bringing in my Y, I could just drag it and make sure that it was on the line as well. And then when I get done and I want to just take a little look back, well, you know what, let me finish this. And you just kind of, you know, all your little letters, so you just duplicate and everything, and then you can just click and drag all at one time. So we would just go over here, place this one on the line, right? Grab this T, place it on the line, come back for the A. Now we're kind of running out of space, so I'm going to just pull this off through. Pull this over a little bit, just so that we have enough space. Okay, and then I will get that final letter, the L. So in looking at it, we can see, turn off the grid, that it's a little bit outside of the box. So you just click the box, and now you just extend it so that your letters are inside of there. You drag it so that it's centered in there. If you're going to add any, I don't really use the second one. Let me just say this before I continue. I don't really use the second one. I just duplicate the one so I know that it's exact. So if you're going to add a little bit of lettering, you go ahead and put it there. Once you get these set up how you want it, you go ahead and group them so that you don't have any confusion with them, you know, coming out of alignment. And so now when you would put this, so say you did want to add something to the bottom, all you need to do is extend this box however much you want to, and then, you know, so that it looks like it makes sense. You wouldn't have it totally at the, you know, at the top. You would raise it up a little bit and then go on and do your writing right here. So if you were going to write, I don't know, you're awesome, thank you. So if you're going to write that, you spell it right first of all. There we go. So you would take that and get it up here, and then pick your font and everything like you usually would. But you see, by having some space up there and then it being down here, it doesn't look like it's crammed. It looks like it's balanced. So then you would just save it like you would typically. Just going to save it as an SVG so that it can go over. Before you save, you want to duplicate this box so that you have your other one that's going to be cut. This goes on top of here, because these will cut out, this will cut out, and you'll just be left with this outer piece with the engraving. and then you just glue these two pieces together. So I'm going to show you what mine looked like before I sent it over to the Glowforge. So it looked like this. So I basically had all of my cutouts outlined in red. This was outlined in blue, which let Glowforge know that I wanted to engrave these things. And then this apostrophe was actually in green because I wanted to score it. Now in the future, I probably won't score it. I would have went ahead and cut this. So I would have changed this to red as well, because I think even though I don't want it as a separate puzzle piece because it's so small, I do believe that I would have taken it out and painted it and then stuck it back in there so that it looked like it was a puzzle piece, but it wasn't really a puzzle piece. It was already glued in, and it wouldn't be, movable, but it would give the appearance of a puzzle piece. So as you can see, the cutting has already begun, and there's the lower name is already cut out in the upper frame, and is actually just working its way through. So we'll continue to watch and see what's next. So here you can see the frames are now being cut. Okay, so we have everything cut out. This is the front of the puzzles, and this is the back. And what we're going to go ahead and do is glue the front and the back together for each puzzle. So we'll just take this one. We want to take off the masking, and we just want to go ahead and get them lined up like this. Make sure that they're the right one, only because we had two puzzles. And then we'll go ahead, we're using the tight bond, the wood glue. We're going to go ahead and just put a little bit. You don't need a lot of this at all. So we're just going to, I think it'll be easier to actually put it on here since we can see where the cutouts are. And I'm just going to run a thin line down the along the edges. Just kind of fitting it in. And I'm not squeezing out new glue, I'm just spreading the glue around that's already here when I'm in between. And then over here, the same thing. Okay. All right. So you want to carefully place this on top of here. And then make sure that we're fitting the edges perfectly. And then you should have some kind of clip to hold them down. And these are still masked, so it's not going to put any kind of indentation on them because they're masked. Okay. And then you'll see some of the glue kind of come out. Just gently wipe that. That's why we didn't need a lot, because as little as we put, it's still kind of squeezed out a tad bit. I'm going to put this one up here because we're going to paint this part right here. So we'll get this one in first before we do that. And this is 1/8 inch wood that I'm using. If you want a thicker puzzle, you can use the 1/4 inch, but I'm using the 1 inch. So we make sure that we have the front of the puzzle. Okay. And then we're going to follow the same procedure, just gluing this and putting it together. Okay, so now I'm just fitting in the little extra pieces. This is kind of personal preference. You don't have to do this. You can just leave it where it's just a puzzle piece like that. But I just want to put it in and make it look complete. But you don't have to. But I like to put the puzzle piece in first so that we know we got a good fit. And then stick in the centerpiece. So we have the A's that need it as well. I'm just taking off the masking. Okay, I just want to make sure it fit in there. And just put a dot of glue and press it in here. And then the last one. And just to have a small a tray or something when you're working with these small pieces is helpful, because they can easily get lost. Again, one more little dot. Okay. And then we're using the paints. These I think these actually came from Walmart, I believe. But you can see they're non-toxic. So this is what you want to use on children's things. Non-toxic. Matte is best, but if you don't have matte, it'll just be a few more coats with a gloss. That's all. Okay. So now I just want to go ahead and paint inside of the engravings. And I'm going to use black for that. Just a little teeny bit. Just dabbing. This still has the masking on it. I've not taken the masking off yet. Somehow I forgot to get my little painting tray. Trying to dig in the bottom. Okay. So squeeze a little bit of the black out just to make it easier. So this name, well, the Young Black King, that's done. And so now we're going to move over here and go ahead and get this painted. So same process. Just kind of dabbing. Trying to fill it in by just gently dabbing, so that hopefully we're not lifting the masking tape and none is seeping in. a second coat of those, but we're going to move to these letters. Okay, so things are drying over here, and let's see how it turned out. Fingers crossed that the paint didn't seep. That's not too bad. I can go in and get the little excess out. And then we just have to peel off the masking here. And over here, should have had my rubber razor, because that's good for getting up little stuff like this. In. So we have the K, the A. I think this is how it goes. No. That A goes down here because it's purple. Check to make sure I'm taking the mask off. The other A, the O, and the R. How cute is that? So I just got to get in there and clean it up. And I actually have, when I was doing some other woodwork, I have this beige that's almost the same color as wood, and so it's like, I think it's this one. It's like a warm buff, and if you take a paintbrush and you like just get in there, you won't notice it. Like, I mean, of course, when you right up on it, you're gonna notice it, but it'll kind of just, you can get in there with some of those. First, I'm gonna try it with something to kind of lighten it up, and then I'll do that. But this is it, and I really like the way that it came out. Very pretty, very girly. And then we have, so that's Little Miss Kimura's. And then we have the sides. So let's see how this one turned out. A few of his letters are still drying. I had to go over the red and the yellow a couple of times. So they're kind of still drying. And I'm going to actually put the clamp back on this and leave them clamped overnight. I'm just showing you how it looks. That's why I took the clamp off. And I'll leave the clamps overnight. And now that one came out nice. So maybe when I do them in the future, don't have such an intricate design. Just keep it more or less simple. Okay. So we got the A. These B's. Just have masking on the D in the center. The A. And then the other A. Maybe is that already off there? Yes, that's already off. Okay, so the first A is actually blue. That goes there. And then we have the S. The next A. And the D and the H and the D, but they're still drying. So they're right here. It would be the yellow and the red H. So they're still drying. And I'll give you a picture of both of the finished puzzles once they're dry and once I clean it up. All right. So here's the final product. And I did wind up painting the whole puzzle for Kimora. And I do like the way it turned out. But again, next time I'll just put the wording going across the bottom because it just gets too intense around those smaller words, kind of all jumbled together. But I really do like the way they came out. So these are puzzles. You just take the letters out like so. And then you can just pop them back in. And it helps the children to learn how to spell their name, to recognize it, and a little bit of hand and eye coordination. Get them babies off them cell phones and let's get working with our hands again. Thanks as always for watching Crystal's Diversive Creations. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get notifications about future uploads.